I'd be quite interested to know like your thought process when it comes to deciding where to open a gym. What comes into your mind? Like, what are you thinking about?
A main thing is really location, and that's a combination of local competition. Are there already some great gyms in the area? In which case, maybe not the first place on the list, but we would get to it. One of the funny ones is car parking. People want to go to the gym and train. They don't want to walk more than 30 seconds from the car to the front door, which with the UK weather, I can understand a little bit, but, you need a decent car park as well. And finding somewhere where actually, hopefully there's been some legacy gyms, which are effectively feeder facilities where people have trained at a reasonable gym, but, are looking for something more. And we're still not a niche offering, but we're still not a mass market offer. So we need to make sure that there's enough of a demand for the kind of people who want to train where we are. What I found the easiest is really opening them 45 minutes from an existing one, because then you've already got enough of knowledge about what the product is.
Like JD.
Yeah. So, or finding, areas where, obviously you mentioned a couple of gyms there, where the commercial gyms, often they're just full of cardio, and then they've got a really limited amount of weights. And then when you go in there, they're super busy, you can't get on the equipment, it's frustrating, the dumbbells are left everywhere. And you think, actually, look, there'll be a demand. And people often message in a nice way and sort of say, look, you'd clean up if you opened something, in here or there as well.
Yeah. So what do you do in terms of finance and funding a gym opening? Because I mean, I know the price of equipment, and it's especially the type of equipment you've got in the gyms, like it's expensive.
Yeah.
So how do you go about it?
Yeah, so my main business for years has been wealth management, and I've been lucky to build up a great business there. And that's what's allowed me to finance the gyms myself. And then I brought in business partners who sometimes had existing gyms that they've been able to bring some equipment in with that as well. So to date, we haven't taken any financing out on the equipment. It's just been purely a passion project and me effectively, investing money into these businesses. The problem with financing, of course, is the rates. Often at the moment, you're looking at 10% plus. And then, thank goodness we didn't, because when we had the lockdown and we had to close, that's where a lot of businesses really would suffer. Still got the payments to make. They don't care if you cannot, can or can't open, and so on as well. So it's been a real blessing in that respect.
How many facilities did you have at the time during?
So I'd opened Durham about a week or two before the first lockdown. So terrible timing. You just got everyone excited about the gym, people coming in and signing up, and then we pretty much knew we were going to have to close. So that was almost brand new.
Did you have to give their money back, or?
Well, I suppose with a lot of people, what we did is said to them, look, we've got three options. You can freeze your membership, you can go down to paying half, or you can carry on paying. Completely up to people. But I suppose for a lot, they were actually really kind. They were saying, look, I've been furloughed. I'd rather, carry on paying something, or, what I can afford to pay, support the gym. And that way, when we open, we put money back into new equipment. We did various other things for the gyms to say thank you to the members who did keep paying. And about half of them kept paying something through that period of time, which I'm not sure that would have happened in a commercial gym, because people would just take a view, like, you'd be deep enough pockets anyway. But that was great. And we reinvested an awful lot of that into new kit and expanding, put mezzanines in, and did other things into the facilities. But that definitely helped. I mean, the grants at first seemed pretty good, and then you realize that's like a month's worth of rent, and that you're done as well. So,
are you designing all the gyms by yourself? Like, you're like, right, we need this equipment. I want it to look like this. I want the mirrors here.
Yeah, so I've always done the layouts. It's been part of my role. I suppose I try and think of that member experience when you first walk in. You want us to be able to see, that most of the gym when you walk in, that's kind of impressive for a new member, but also a natural flow in terms of where things sit and how you can get around. Silly things like you need to have the dumbbell area visible from the reception, because if you don't, people just leave all the weights out. And even if the reception staff aren't looking at the dumbbell area, just because people know that can happen, they put the stuff away.
That's interesting. I never thought about that.
Yeah, so all these little things you're thinking about, actually making sure that some of the areas it's easy for people to navigate through the gym, because it's easy to forget when you first go to a gym. It's an intimidating place, and particularly the type of gyms that we have, albeit that actually they're very friendly and it's a real mixed group of members. So thinking about how someone can go in there and be able to train without necessarily being in the thick of it, or be able to walk through the gym without having to walk through the kind of scary areas, or seeing all the big people. So yes, I've always done the layouts around that. And also, I suppose, we just put everything in body part areas, which I just think makes logical sense. But for years, gyms have just kind of thrown all the machines down in a random order. And then later in your session, you find a gym, equipment you would have loved to have used earlier on, but it wasn't anywhere near the other stuff. Or something's busy, you're walking around back and forth up and down the gym trying to find something as a replacement as well.
It reminded me of the Oxygen Gym in Abu Dhabi, because that was the first place I ever went to that had this massive space, and all the machines were put in specific areas based on what muscle group they were training.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
It's great, isn't it? Yeah, so it makes it so much easier, and also you end up doing more stuff or trying some new things as well. But particularly if you're traveling, as I'm sure you do, you go into a gym, and if you see that body part science, it makes it really easy. You can just go straight to the area you want to be in, rather than trying to figure out where everything is and what's going on.
Yeah.